I'd like to resume our discussion about leadership succession planning by picking up where we left off in part 2 of this video. As I've mentioned before, the Faith Search Partners process-driven method of leadership search and succession planning places a great deal of importance on the management function. While we believe diligent management is vital to achieving a successful search outcome, we also know that no amount of planning or process management will result in securing your next great leader unless that plan is set in motion. As we walk through the final phases of the process outlined in our publication, The Leader Search Roadmap, I'd like to shift the focus away from the planning component for a moment and focus on putting the plan into action. We'll spend the next few minutes discussing what happens after the plan has been created and the research phase has been completed. Once the prospects have been identified, move forward by presenting them your opportunity in an effort to persuade them to consider the position. As candidates express interest, request their resumes. Then conduct initial phone interviews with those whose experience seems to be a potential match for your organization's needs. As part of the research phase, the hiring board or committee should come up with a fact-checking plan. Determine a methodology for verifying educational degrees, professional credentials, and employment history. Be sure to respect the confidentiality the candidate may need during this process so as not to jeopardize their current employment. After references have been validated and preliminary phone interviews have been conducted, put together a recommended candidate slate to present to the search committee or to the hiring executive. Develop a consensus of which candidates should move on to the next round of interviews. After the roster of semifinalists has been agreed upon, set up in-person interviews. As first and second round interviews progress, keep in mind the search process management philosophy and its importance. Attention to detail is critical as you facilitate travel, structure itineraries, identify key interview questions, and create a method of candidate ranking. Keep detailed notes throughout the entire duration of the search and use them to compile an individual candidate profile. Compare each candidate's profile to the ideal candidate profile created at the beginning of the search process. Get input from the stakeholders on the final candidate. Constant, clear communication is vital during this phase of the search process. Selecting the next leader could very well be the biggest decision you may ever make for your organization. At Faith Search Partners, we believe the best leaders for faith-based organizations are those who personally commit to the organization's ultimate purpose. This is why it is so critical to select a leader whose spiritual values match the needs, mission, and culture of your organization, and who also possess strong management talents and the skill to qualify them for the specific leadership role. Now, once a consensus has been reached and the best candidate has been chosen, it is then time to present the prospect with the leadership offer. During this phase, you'll tackle any negotiations necessary to secure the business relationship between the candidate and your organization. It is also during this step that you should begin implementing measures to assure the candidate's successful transition into their new role, focusing on their first year of service. Refer back to the ideal candidate profile and use this as a tool by which to evaluate the new leader's performance. As the search process comes to an end, take the time to evaluate the success of your succession plan and search management process and revise them if necessary. Succession plans should be reviewed at least once a year and modified based on the particular job functions or requirements. Succession planning can seem unnecessary for a highly functioning, successful organization, but an unexpected death or unplanned departure of a key leader can put an organization in immediate danger. Any organization that does not have a written plan diagramming how its key officers' responsibilities will be continued in the event of a vacancy runs a serious risk of lapse in leadership and public trust. Those with the fiduciary responsibility for hiring key leaders must give succession planning their best and most urgent attention to ensure their institutions remain on pace and on task with their mission. Succession planning is an ongoing initiative requiring commitment to keep executive leadership talent needs in line of sight at all times. If you'd like more information about succession planning or how to conduct a leader search, a free download of our publication, The Leader Search Roadmap, is available on our website. We also invite you to contact us directly to find out how Faith Search Partners can help find the next great leader for your organization.